All right. I can never tell when these things are live sometimes. Oh, 18 seconds in and no talking. I gotta get that fixed. Um, I've got an exciting live stream today. Ton of things to cover, ton of things to get into. Let me just get Instagram set up so I can let you guys know. You can leave comments. Have the question. Leave a comment for live response. So I've got a ton of stuff I want to get into today. Leave a comment for a live response. Okay, so I'm pin that so you guys know you can leave comments throughout this thing, and I'm answering questions. So I want to talk about some general stuff, and then I want to talk about some art helper stuff. I want to talk about some AI stuff. The comment, leave a question for a response. Okay, let me just post that. Oh, all the things to get a stream ready to go. I hope everyone's having an absolutely wonderful Wednesday. All right, so I want to start this week. Like one of the things that we're starting to realize that you guys need help with. It's like, yes, we have Art Helper, and yes, Art Helper is awesome, but also in addition to Art Helper being an AI app, you guys are using other AI apps, and all AI apps have one fundamental thing in common. Every single solitary one of them. It doesn't matter which one it is. It doesn't matter if it's Art Helper. It doesn't matter if it's ChatGPT or you're using Grok or using any of the other ones to get various different things in your art business completed to give you superpowers. And what is that one common thing? It's prompting. So I recorded an episode. What is this? A couple days ago now, on learning to prompt. And I really want you guys to all check it out. You can find it. It's on the Art Marketing Podcast. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube. It is on Apple Podcast, anywhere you get podcasts. And whether you're someone that's like just getting started with AI, you've heard about it, you've never touched anything, whether you're starting to pick up speed, maybe you're an Art Helper user, or whether you are an absolute power user, I feel very, very strongly that all of us need to learn to prompt. It is the new language that drives these amazing machines. It is the only thing that unifies all these various different AI related apps that are out there. They're all driven by a prompt, which means you guys have got to learn how to prompt, which means we all have to learn how to prompt. And my strong position is that the artist, the photographer, the creative that starts spending time on learning how to prompt now, they are going to be able to achieve significantly more in their art or photography business than someone that doesn't. And it really is learning a new language to do this, to come up with the different ways that you talk to an AI and you get answers out of it, right? Like if you go to the Art Helper example, when you're in Art Helper and you're using a Spark and you want the Spark to do something else, you have to suggest changes here. And that suggest changes is essentially just a prompt. It's additional prompting in which you're talking to the AI and you're saying, hey, what you created is okay. I need it to be better. Please do this, that, and the other. And there are so many different creative use cases for it. It's just absolutely crazy. So I wanted to share that with everyone. I think everyone should listen to this. It's got stuff in there if you're a beginner. It's got stuff in there if you're in the middle. It's got stuff in there if you're advanced, and everything in between. And I think if you do, it will have you feeling significantly more comfortable about how to approach AI broadly, how to approach Art Helper specifically, and how to just get a ton more value out of it. Because I'm extremely cognizant of the fact, because I mentioned this in the podcast episode, but one of the things that I do in my daily life is anytime I'm out and about and I meet somebody for the first time, or I'm having a conversation, or I'm getting my hair cut and I'm asking the barber, or whatever the case may be, I always ask like, hey, are you using AI? And if so, how are you using it in your day-to-day life? And the vast majority of people are still not using it daily. They've maybe tried it once. They were like, okay, that was cool, but I've got other things to do and it's not helping me. And they haven't figured out the joy of it yet. And the reason they haven't figured out the joy is because they've not learned to prompt. So if you need I was thinking about AI, or I'm contemplating AI, or I'm trying to figure out how AI can work for me as an artist, a photographer, a creative, I'm here to tell you this episode is for you. One additional episode too that I put into the podcast this week that I'm really proud of is this one called the Recession-Proof Artist. Sorry. It's no secret that we're in some questionable economic times right now. You've got inflation ripping, you've got whatever's going on with these tariffs. Pretty much all of our customer base reports that sales are down a little bit. The folks that are going to the fairs and shows are reporting things are down a little bit. And it's okay to acknowledge that, right? It's okay to say, like, look, I know that things, economically speaking, are not the best that they've ever been right now. And that's okay. It's like, all right, that's the facts on the ground. It doesn't mean you don't do anything. It doesn't mean there's not steps to take. It doesn't mean that there's not ways to navigate bumpy economic times. We have situations like this, and I use the R word. I called it the recession-proof artist in the podcast episode. Whether we're in one or not, I don't know, but it certainly feels like it, right? It certainly feels like it, and they don't last forever, and we're probably already some of the way into it, and we are going to be coming out of it. And so it's really, really important to just like be cognizant of that and get going. And then just to share a really fun story, this all transpired like last week that I created this episode and got it going, and I just wanted to, I made this carousel because I just absolutely love this story. So this is the long and the short of it, right? This is what artists normally do during periods of economic malaise, right? You question the future viability of the business. Your revenue stream starts shrinking in the various different creative sectors. We've seen a ton of that. As a result of that, it's reduced marketing, equipment investment, studio space, all of that kind of thing. And then just overall, the hesitation to take risks. And it's my strong feeling that things don't need to be that way during periods of economic uncertainty. They just don't. And so I got to give a huge shout out to my buddy, Derek. So Derek, Art Storefront's customer, and he's actually been on the podcast before too. I interviewed him. He made one of these little things. So I was like, oh, I got to share it. This is obviously an AI generated image of him, but that's totally what he looks like. And he's a surfer and he looks Canon guy. So that works well. But I released that episode last week just to give you guys some encouragement. And, like, hey, it's rough economic times. You got to try this out. Have an awesome weekend. And Derek responded, like, okay, game on. I'm going to listen to this thing. Well done. This is just a kick in the butt I needed today. General and specific, time to go on the offensive, right? So Derek, listen to that episode that I want you to listen to, the Recession-Proof Artist, okay? And you can see Derek's profile. He's like a coastal surf photographer, right? Coastal San Diego surf, a little bit of landscape stuff related to that. And so he sort of has an established niche, Derek does, but he realized, like, look, his business, like everyone's business, has been affected by these economic times. He is not going to sit on the sidelines. He's going to start going on offense, which is some of the tactical stuff that I advocated for in that episode about what you guys can do as creatives in this sort of difficult economic time. And so I had this thing say, oh, how it started versus how it's going, which is like kind of a meme thing on the internet. But Derek went to a local park with his, what did he call it? Like some sort of strobe lighting setup that he had. And he offered to do some shots for free with his high-speed strobe, and something he's done very little of. And what he decided to do is just do this in a park, and you can see there are these big, beefy triathlete guys. I mean, that guy looks like he could run through a brick wall. I think his legs are thicker than my entire body. And anyway, it was really cool is that he showed up. He started taking some photos for free, working on his craft, right, at a local park at his house. This is not his niche. This is not stuff that he shoots for a living. And he mentions in this comment, because I probably can't read, it's too small, is that there are a bunch of these guys training in the park, getting ready for a race or whatever. He got a ton of new Instagram followers out of it. He got some new email subscribers from the racers and everything else. And then he posted yesterday, I think, that he got an order for a metal print from a spouse of one of the racers. I was like, way to go, Derek. That is awesome. So that is what's happening already from people that are listening to this episode. So the two episodes, the two latest, it's Learn to Prompt and the Recession-Proof Artist. Totally recommend you guys check out one and or both of them. They're both really, really good, and I think they can help you out in your art business immediately, especially the prompting. So let's get to Art Helper and talk about some of the new features. I know, we've been putting out a ton of content recently talking about some of the latest and greatest features that we've added to Art Helper. The big strategic one, in addition to the social posting, is you now have the ability to organize your content in folders. And this has been like a hugely requested feature for Art Helper to say, like, hey, can we get folders? Can we drag and drop in and out of them? And can we get started on some basic organization? Our dream, our vision, our goal for Art Helper is to have this thing be the artist, photographer, creatives operating system, right? stores all of your images, organizes all of your images, gives you easy AI application that you can apply to any of the images to do all the various different things that you need to do to make it easier for you to market. And I think one of the really important parts of all of this is going to be the organization. And so you can create folders in here, you can drag and drop images into it. You've got display options. And this is just our V1 of this particular feature, but you can toggle, the title, the file name, the upload date, the tags, and you can view your images in that modality. So you can see all the tags that are showed up on this. You can now filter via the tags that the AI generates for you. So for those of you guys that have large image libraries up here, like even just being able to filter on a whim, kind of like what you would be able to do in Lightroom or Bridge or whatever organizational system that you've been using up till now to organize your images. It's a really, really handy way to organize your collection. And I think what's cool too is like, it gives you very easy, like I can see out of this bunch, there's only one that I've titled, right? I've only titled the Silent Gaze one. So now if I need to go back in here and give the rest of these titles, it lets me know, hey, what of these pieces that I've been working on actually have titles? Okay. What are the ones that I can go ahead and process if they don't have titles that I still need to do the work on? And so it just makes organization, it makes, your overall life of organizing photos just that much easier, which is awesome. And then I think, as many of you know, we have added social media posting to Art Helper. And so the V1 of this is you can post directly to Instagram. We are working, because we've been getting a ton of feedback from you guys, that you would like to see this thing be able to post to Facebook, and you would like to be able to see it post to Blue Sky, and you would like to be able to see it post to LinkedIn. And so we're working on ramping up the rest of the social media networks. But it's really, really handy for those of you guys that struggle with being consistent. Okay, see what I did there? Because I know all of you struggle with being consistent. It is absolutely the hardest thing to do, is be consistent. So you can come in here, you can do 4x5 carousel posts, you can do 1x1 image posts, you could do single image posts if you're so inclined. And then it's got the room mockups that it'll throw right in for you. So you can, add in additional images, you can upload additional images, you can go back to your artwork archive, like in this instance, in, whose images are these? These are Shawnee's, I believe. You can instantaneously say, okay, image, room mockup, right? And you can obviously search all of the room mockups, but instantaneously you can go, okay, boom, there's that one. I'm going to resize it. Then you could come right back in, go to your artwork, grab another one, boom, hit mockups, and then instantaneously, once you move to this image, it should regenerate. Is it doing it for this image? Oh, it's not doing it for this image. I think my version's a little bit buggy because I'm on a demo version of this. But you can instantaneously, get a carousel post going on with very compelling room mockups, the entire series of your images, move it around, and you go to the next step. We've got a really cool generator here, which generates exactly what it's going to look like on Instagram before you post it. And in one click, you can post and or you can schedule. So we've been making a ton of advancements in what the Art Helper software can do for you. And you can see, obviously, the social media post has already been included in here. So all exciting stuff there. And part and parcel too of like the organizational thing, which I'm perhaps more excited about than just about anyone in the company, is we're rapidly moving to a point in time where you guys are going to be able to upload every single solitary image you ever created. Okay. I mean, ever in history. Once you've uploaded them, the AI is going to look at every single solitary image you've ever created. It is going to tag, organize, say what the subject matter material is, grab the metadata information, and give you one centralized database that has every single solitary bit of information on your images, such when you come up and you search, right, you're going to be able to find anything in your archive in 2 seconds. It's going to surface tags. It's going to surface geographical locations. You're going to be able to, append the data. And if you guys just have all of the images that you've created ever in your history as an artist, and they all have contextual data, right? What year they were created, what is the subject matter material, what is the medium, what is in the image itself, what are the colors, you're going to be able to create some of the most compelling content if we have that type of metadata at your disposal to instantaneously use. And so it's going to give you this situation where you're all going to have like a digital archivist of your business, right? Like someone that has all the context, understands everything that you've created, can tell you where a file is in a heartbeat. You can select a bunch of them. You can post those to social. You can the opportunities that are going to be unlocked from you guys having your entire archive in one place with all the contextual data is going to be astounding. So really, really excited to see where this whole thing goes, into what additional features we can pack into this thing to just make your artist, photographer, creative lives easier, to make it such that you are able to output more in your business than you've ever done before. And when you do that, you're going to start getting attention, you're going to start getting noticed, and your business is going to start growing. So we're really, really excited for where the entire operation is going. And one of the other things, one of the sparks that I worked on just recently is the interior designer spark. If you guys have not played with this one yet, you've got to do this. It's really, really cool what this thing does. Let me get my fat head out of the way so I'm a little bit smaller. So what this one does is it looks at your image, okay, and it pulls all of the primary color data out of it and creates a color palette for you. So, it creates, in this one, it says golden sunset, lush green. It gives you the hex colors, gives you a little bit of information about the colors. But the thing that it does secondarily, which I really, really love, is it does what's called a complementary interior palette, okay? And what we've done with this is we've trained the AI under the confines of, and like, here's a prompt that sort of like works on the AI. It says, you are an expert interior designer, an award-winning interior designer at the top of your field. You understand everything about what is currently trending out there in the various different disciplines and individual style profiles of interior designers. You understand the best artwork to complement the best style that dovetails with the best paint, fits with all of the other modalities of interior design, including furniture, floor coverings, window coverings, and other sculpture and styles. Take what you know about interior design and give me the complementary color palette that goes best with this image, right? So the AI analyzes the image, comes up with the primary color details in the image. Then it uses its interior design brain and says, these are the colors that would best complement the work that you've created, right? So you can see in this case, it came up with olive, taupe, and beige, right? And so what you can do is you can come right into the room mockups, put in the complementary color, right? And then for this one, I'll just use green. And based on color theory, based on the fact that this thing's been trained as an interior designer, it knows what the best colors that are going to dovetail with the work that you've created, okay? And what's brilliant about it is, like, it can be the wall color, right? It can be the furniture color. It could be the throw pillow color, the color of the chairs, right? It's got all these different modalities where it knows what is going to look the best. And it's like, you look at some of these room mock-ups and, like, right out of the gates, like, there's something that just visually sings about it because it understands color theory, and it's nailed the color theory, right? And so really, really cool thing to play with. And again, all you have to do, upload your image, hit the interior designer spark, let it analyze the image, and then come down here, pick the complementary interior design palette, and throw some of those colors into the room mockups. And then after you downloaded a couple of these, I threw one additional thing down at the bottom of this, which I think is really, really cool, which is it will write a sample message for you that you could potentially send to an interior designer. So it gives you some sample copy, a start, right, for you to start sending direct messages to interior designers. And this is one of the things that I covered in the, how to become a recession-proof artist. It's like, when things are more difficult than they have been previously, i.e., inflation, potential recession, dumpster fire of an economic situation that we're in right now, which it is, you have to do some things that you weren't doing before, okay? The business is not just going to come to you. You have to go on offense in terms of your marketing. And this interior design spark represents one of the first ideas of what we can start building into this application, right? Get your work in there, make sure it's perfect. Go send a direct message to an interior designer. In fact, don't just send one, send 30 a day. and do that for a week, right? Like, you start doing that, which is something that very few artists ever do. They're not direct messaging the interior designers. If they are direct messaging the interior designers, they're not taking the time to create assets about their art that dovetails perfectly with the interior designer in question, right? So if you start doing this, you are, instead of sitting on your hands and saying, man, the economy's tough and things aren't going well, you're going on offense and you're starting to form relationships. Okay. And the interior designers are hurting just the same as everyone else is, right? Not as many houses are selling, not as many construction projects are selling. So they're going to be even more attentive to direct messages received from people, i.e. artists, than they were at any other time. So it's just a great time to start forming some of those relationships now and start letting people know, hey, I'm an artist, I know what your style is. I really, really like it. My work dovetails great with what you do. If you want to start a relationship, great. If any of your customers, clients ever needed a custom piece, I'm open for commissions, right? You start sending those types of messages and instantaneously things in your business are going to start changing. And it's just not something most artists are doing because it's a ton of work. And it's like, if you have a system that can help you get the deal done, to a large percentage, and all you have to do is copy paste and hit send, it stands to reason you're going to be much, much more likely to actually do it, right? And this works for everyone. I know we have a huge international artist, and an international community that's using art storefronts. We have a bunch of domestic folks, and then we have a bunch of people that are not customers that are using it. And you absolutely, all of you guys can be doing this. It doesn't matter what country you're in. Interior design is a massive thing. They are the ones that place a ton of art in homes, in hotels, in businesses across the entire globe. The more interior designers that you know and that you have friendly relationships with, the chances are the faster that your art or photography business is going to grow, right? And Rome Salty is saying, can we use you if we already have a website with no storefront? Yes, absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can sign up to. Absolutely you can start playing with it with Art Helper. If you wanted to get an art storefront site, you can too. But what I'm describing is like, this is just basic marketing and leveraging AI for you guys to be more effective at it, which is what I want to see so many of you doing, which is like the whole promise of AI. And I say this all the time, but I've been in this business for a long time. And at this point, because I've been running so many different webinars and so many different sessions with my customers, I've interviewed hundreds of thousands of artists and photographers at this time. I mean, the number has got to be staggering. And out of 100,000, let's just say that is the number. It's a big number, but let's just say that is the number. Do you know how many out of those hundreds of thousands of various different art and photography and creative businesses all over this country, over other countries, that actually even have one employee? One. It is less than 0.5% of art or photography businesses, of artists and photographers that I've interviewed that have even one employee. And so you're constantly, you guys, you're solopreneurs, and you constantly get stuck in this chicken and egg situation. I would do more marketing if I just brought in more revenue and I could hire someone, right? But I can't hire someone until I do more marketing and bring in the revenue to hire someone. Well, I'm here to tell you, AI is your tireless employee. It is ready to start working for you right now today. It can make you more effective at all of the parts of your art, your photography, your creative business that you hate doing. And you've got to start leveraging it. It's why I started the podcast, or why I started the live broadcast, saying like, I really want you guys to listen to this Learn to Prompt episode, because if you do, you're going to get better at prompting. You're going to get better at leveraging AI in your business, which every single solitary one of you need, because it's giving you an employee for the first time. You guys all need an employee. You all need a team member. The sooner you get one on board, the sooner your business is going to start growing. And yes, even in these tough economic times that we're in right now. So that's my position. More live broadcasts to come. If you haven't tried Art Helper out yet, arthelper.ai, you totally should. For those of you guys that are Art Storefronts customers, more and more to come on that very subject. I thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.